let's go. The Penrith Panthers, of course, back-to-back premiers and an outstanding squad that they have. Let's have a look at the people again who aren't there and maybe who's coming in. So Viliami Kikau, Api Coruscant, two headline acts who have left the side. Jermaine Hopgood's gone, Charlie Staines, Robert Jennings. So more part-time players there. What are your thoughts on the Penrith Panthers 2023?
Yeah, while they have Nathan Cleary, James Fisher-Harris, all the Isaiah, all the superstar players they have, they're going to be hard to beat. They'll be one of the competition front runners. They're going to miss Coruscant so much. And we spoke about the club changer he can be for the West Tigers.
Yeah.
I really think they're going to miss his creativity because there's not a like-for-like replacement like him at all in their top squad at the moment.
Almost not in the league.
Not in the league.
Let alone
he's
the
that
top
good.
squad. That's right.
And Kikau's such an outstanding player as well, and I think he's defensively been underrated, and his ability now to play consistently at a top level in the last 2 years has made a real difference in his game.
Last 3 years, I think. He's been Dally M Team of the Year the last 3 years.
Yeah.
As the second
I think even in that first year, he still wasn't there for 80 minutes. He had the big plays and the big moments, but I think now defensively he's outstanding.
So I would say that someone like a Viliami Kikau, the big plays, the big moments, that's what you want for them if you can balance it up with other complementary pieces to that puzzle.
Yeah.
There's not many people who on an edge can do what he does. And whether he gets the ball or attracts defenders, he's such a huge part of your attack.
And I don't want to understate his loss and the importance that he's had on that squad, but I just think Coruscant's a huge out for them. Mitch Kenny will probably start. He started in the grand final. Serviceable work rate, and I think it will change the way they play because the attention will shift more to other players in the squad now from a defensive point of view if you're the opposition rather than around the ruck. Because the markers had to be aware around Coruscant.
Mitch Kenny doesn't really offer a threat. The shining example of this was when Penrith was down by 12 to the South Sydney Rabbitohs in the prelim. And it just looked like, you always got the sense, well, Penrith will get it back on track, but it didn't get back on track until Api Coruscant came on and changed the game. He scored a try out of dummy half, and absolutely. So Mitch Kenny doesn't offer that. Mitch Kenny's a very solid NRL player, but he doesn't have the creativity out of dummy half that Coruscant has.
Yeah.
So you're right. Impact then on Nathan Cleary, impact on Isaiah Yeo.
Yes.
And the manner in which they play. They play a different style as it is.
And simply, Coruscant holding up the markers for his forwards to get forward. That's as basic as it can be, but that's going to be a difference in James Fisher-Harris having a half a second on that defensive line moving forward. So that's all gone.
That was all Brett. That was Cameron Smith bread and butter, wasn't it? Just engaged defender over the advantage line.
So,
engaged defender over the advantage line.
And the players that they've lost, I think they've lost a little bit of their safety blanket in terms of their depth as well. Luke Garner will be solid addition for him. He might start in that back row slot that Kikau's vacated, but look, they'll be a top four side.
So Luke Garner in, clearly, with due respect to Luke, a downgrade from Viliami Kikau. We think the same for Mitch Kenny, for Api Coruscant. Dylan Edwards, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, Mitch Kenny. So now you've got two State of Origin class.
Yep.
Edwards, a Clive Churchill medal winner, but that concern again for that fourth part when you go from State of Origin player Api Coruscant or international. Spencer Lenu got the shoulder injury too, so that's an issue.
Yeah, and we talk about Coruscant, we say he's the top two hooker in the game. Harry Grant probably one.
Yep.
Coruscant too. And if you wanted to argue the other way, I wouldn't necessarily fight you over it, but that's the way I'd rank him.
Yeah.
So huge. But, there's still... What the unknown is for Penrith and for people from the outside looking in is what they've got coming through. That is the unknown a bit.
So there's a young Smith, used to be a cricketer out there. He's a hooker in the system, but I don't know the style of play that he is. I don't know if he's that creative hooker.
That's what I mean. And we've seen when players have gone before, we saw young Tago come in and be outstanding in the centres. Talon May looked good when he had his opportunity on the wing as well. So they do find a way to replace these players, but I'm just not sure.
Here's the other one. No Cameron Ciraldo, no Andrew Webster. So Cameron Ciraldo was the architect of all the things they did defensively over the last couple of years. So there's another part of the puzzle that has left from the Penrith Panthers' point of view as well. Where do you see them?
Top 4.
Top 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got them down at third.
Yeah.
First, second, third, interchangeable there. But I think it's a massive watch on how they play. And as you say, the impact on that first receiver, second receiver, first receiver especially, about what's happening there.